Hey everyone, and welcome back to Cute Tales and Trends, the channel where we dive deep into the hot gist and trending issues that have everyone talking. Today, we're tackling a topic that has completely taken over social media, sparking intense debate and raising some very serious questions. We're talking about the Christ Embassy Youth Church, or CEYC, and why it's suddenly trending across all platforms. Grab your tea, because this is a complex and unfolding story. So, what exactly kicked off this firestorm? It all started when a social media influencer named AMA Berland hosted a Twitter space. During this live audio chat, she began sharing her personal experiences and observations from her time with the church. What she said opened the floodgates, and soon, thousands of people were tuning in, with many others joining the conversation to share their own stories. This wasn't just a simple discussion. It snowballed into a massive online movement, with CEYC becoming a top trending topic. One of the first and most talked about claims that emerged from this Twitter space revolves around finances. According to AMA and others who chimed in, there's a significant emphasis on financial contributions within the church. Specifically, it was alleged that members are encouraged, and in some cases, pressured, to make their contributions in foreign currency, particularly in US dollars. This has raised a lot of eyebrows, especially considering the economic climate in many of the countries where the church operates. People are questioning the rationale behind this. Why the insistence on dollars? Is this about supporting global ministry, or is it something else? The conversation quickly turned to whether the church's focus has shifted more towards fundraising than spiritual guidance. It's a question that many former and even some current members are now grappling with. As the Twitter space continued, the allegations took a much more serious and disturbing turn. The name of a prominent pastor, Pastor Enoch, came up repeatedly. AMA Berland and several other participants made shocking allegations, claiming that the pastor has been involved in inappropriate relationships with female members of the congregation. These are incredibly serious accusations of a gross abuse of power and trust. The pastor, who is supposed to be a spiritual leader and a figure of guidance, is being accused of exploiting his position. As you can imagine, these claims have caused widespread outrage and concern. People are demanding accountability and a thorough investigation. The church leadership has yet to make a comprehensive public statement addressing these specific and grave allegations, and the silence is only fueling more speculation and anger online. It's a classic case of a spiritual leader being placed on a pedestal and the devastating fallout when that trust is allegedly broken. Another major point of contention that came up during the discussion was the nature of the miracles performed at the church. Several individuals shared stories of attending healing services where people were seemingly cured of various ailments. They described dramatic moments where individuals would testify to being healed on the spot. However, the controversy lies in what allegedly happens afterward. According to these accounts, many of the people who were healed would experience a relapse, with their symptoms returning shortly after, sometimes even worse than before. This has led to a wave of skepticism and accusations of manipulation. People are asking, are these genuine miracles, or are they staged events designed to attract more followers and donations? This has sparked a broader conversation about faith, healing, and the potential for emotional and spiritual manipulation in large religious gatherings. It raises the question of whether hope is being sold without genuine substance, leaving vulnerable people feeling disappointed and even more broken. The conversation didn't stop there. Another recurring theme was the church's alleged policy on social interactions outside the fellowship. Multiple former members claimed that they were actively discouraged, and in some cases, outright forbidden, from having close friends who were not part of the Christ Embassy Church. The reasoning given was supposedly to protect them from worldly influences and keep them focused on their spiritual path. However, many who shared their stories described this as a form of isolation and control. They felt it was a tactic to create an echo chamber where dissenting opinions are silenced and the church's doctrines are the only reality. This has been described as a classic characteristic of high control groups, and it has made many people question the church's true motives. Is it about protecting its members, or is it about controlling them and ensuring their unwavering loyalty and dependence on the church community? The methods of spiritual induction were also placed under a microscope. A particularly striking claim that was shared by several people involved the practice of speaking in tongues. Now, this is a common practice in many Pentecostal and charismatic churches. However, the accounts from the Ceyc were different. People described being taken into a separate room, sometimes one-on-one with a church leader, where they would be intensely prayed for with the specific goal of making them speak in tongues right then and there. They described the experience as highly pressured and emotionally charged. Some felt that they were being coerced into performing a spiritual gift on demand, which made them question the authenticity of the experience. This has led to a debate about whether spiritual gifts can be forced or if they should be organic expressions of faith. The alleged methodology has been labeled by critics as a form of psychological pressure rather than a genuine spiritual encounter. The level of commitment demanded by the church has also come under heavy fire, especially concerning its student members. Numerous stories have surfaced from university students who claimed they were pressured to prioritize church activities over their academic responsibilities. The most shocking of these accounts involve students being told to leave their exams midway through or skip them entirely to attend a church service or event. This has, understandably, caused a huge uproar. People are pointing out the potential long-term damage this could do to a young person's future. It raises serious questions about the church's influence and whether it is providing responsible guidance to its youth. Is devotion being defined as the willingness to sacrifice one's education and future career prospects? This particular point has resonated strongly with parents and educators who are deeply concerned about the well-being of the students involved. Now, let's talk about the timing of all this. It's a detail that hasn't gone unnoticed by many observers. Pastor Enoch, the same pastor at the center of many of these allegations, has a major program scheduled to happen in Nigeria tomorrow. The fact that this huge controversy erupted just days before this significant event has led some to speculate about the timing. Is it possible that this is a coordinated attack? Are there rival individuals or groups attempting to sabotage the pastor and his event? This is the counter-narrative that some supporters of the church are putting forward. They believe that the timing is too coincidental and that this is a spiritual attack meant to discredit the pastor and the church. On the other hand, critics argue that the upcoming event might be the very reason why people felt a sense of urgency to speak out now, hoping to warn potential attendees. It's a classic chicken or the egg scenario, and it adds another layer of complexity to this already tangled story. Ultimately, this entire situation has ignited a much larger and more profound conversation that goes beyond just one church or one pastor. People are now openly questioning the state of modern Christianity. The core of the debate seems to be this: has the church, in many cases, lost its way? Has it deviated from its primary mission of spiritual guidance and community support, and instead become a place for business, financial gain, and the manipulation of its followers? The comments and posts flooding social media are filled with people expressing their disillusionment. They are asking why the focus seems to be more on prosperity, miracles, and grand events, rather than on humility, service, and genuine love. This controversy has become a catalyst for a much-needed discussion about accountability, transparency, and the true purpose of the church in today's society. This is a developing story, and there are still so many unanswered questions. The allegations are serious, and the people who have come forward have shown immense courage. As we continue to watch this unfold, it's important to listen to all sides and encourage a conversation that is both critical and compassionate. Thank you so much for tuning in to Cute Tales and Trends today. This was a heavy one, but an important one to cover. We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this situation? Have you had any similar experiences, either with this church or another? Please share your perspective respectfully in the comments section below. Your voice matters in this conversation. And if you found this video informative, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the trends and stories that matter. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next one.